Merhabalar, University of SOAS Webinarımıza hoş geldiniz. Bugün sizinle yine beraberiz. Bazılarınız bir önceki webinarlarımıza da katılmıştı. Ben yine çok kısa şirketimizi tanıtmak istiyorum. Hali hazırda daha gelenler var. Biz British Education Biri olarak SOAS University of London'ın Türkiye'deki resmi temsilcisiyiz. Temsil ettiğimiz üniversitelerin Türkiye'de tanıtımına destek veriyoruz. Üniversiteler için Türkiye'de organizasyonlar gerçekleştiriyoruz. Bugün gerçekleştirdiğimiz gibi. Şirketimiz 2002 yılında Oxford'da kuruldu. İngiliz ve Türk kuruculara sahip bir yapımız var. İstanbul'da, Ankara'da ve İzmir'deki ofislerimizde öğrencilerimize hizmet sunuyoruz. Uzmanlık alanımız sadece İngiltere ve İrlanda'daki eğitim sistemi. Farklı bir ülkeyle çalışmıyoruz. Bu da bizi alanımızda uzman bir kadro haline getiriyor ve sürekli olarak bilgilerimizi güncelliyoruz. Eğitim almaya devam ediyoruz bizler de. Birleşik Krallık ve İrlanda'da toplam 150 tane üniversite bulunmakta. British Education Bureau olarak 90 tanesinin Türkiye'deki resmi temsilciliğini yapıyoruz. Öğrencilerin başvuru dosyasını hazırlamak, hangi üniversite yerleşeceğini seçmek noktasından vize ve konaklama aşamasına kadar temsil ettiğimiz bütün üniversiteler için ücretsiz hizmet sunuyoruz. Bizi internet sitemizden, Instagram adresimizden ve Facebook hesabımızdan takip etmenizi rica ediyoruz. Bu gibi etkinlikler hakkında bilgi sahibi olabilmeniz için. Özellikle gelecek hafta ve ondan sonraki hafta da çok fazla etkinliğimiz olacak. Etkinliklerimizle ilgili size mail gönderiyor olacağız. Instagram adresimizden güncel olarak paylaşıyoruz tüm etkinliklerimizi. Oradan takip edebilirsiniz. Webinarımız bittikten sonra sorularınız olursa elinizi kaldırıp sesli olarak Türkçe ya da İngilizce sorabilirsiniz. Biz size yardımcı olacağız. Aynı zamanda webinar devam ederken chat box'tan da yazabilirsiniz. Ben şimdi sözü üniversite yetkilimiz Laura'ya bırakıyorum. Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you,
Laura,
everybody.
you're welcome.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for joining the webinar. We're really excited to be sharing a little bit more about our university, SOAS University of London, through the webinar. And we'd love to answer your questions at the end. So please do let us know as we go through. And between us, we'll do our best to keep you as informed and updated about SOAS and our programmes as possible. My name's Laura and I work here in our international office primarily to support our applicants applying from Turkey. So again, we'll be delighted to help in follow-up and hopefully we'll see some of you who are interested in studying with us on future trips to Turkey in 2025. To begin then, just a brief overview of SOAS and who we are. We're very much known today as SOAS, but our acronym originally stood for the School of Oriental and African Studies. And you can see that in this lovely black and white picture that we have on the screen. SOAS was founded just over 100 years ago, so we have quite a history that we've built up in that short time. And we were originally designed almost as a training ground for diplomats who would come to be educated in the languages and cultures of empire and sent out to serve in that way. So we have a rich history across some of our key subject areas, particularly when it comes to things like international relations, politics, diplomacy, and over the 100 years that we've been in existence, we've really evolved to become one of the most non-Western and decolonized universities when it comes to our curriculum and our outlook. So generally, SOAS students, they are very internationally focused, very engaged, and very mindful of different and alternative perspectives to some of the key subject areas that we look at. And if you do get a chance to come and visit us as you explore your study options, then hopefully you'll have a chance to see our library where we share an architect with the theatre here in London, Sir Dennis Lasdon. So again, lots of opportunities and a lovely little campus right here in London for you to explore. And again, here we are. You can see our central London campus marked on the screen. Being in London is one of the biggest assets of studying with us here at SOAS. You'll be studying right in the heart of the capital. You can see us tucked away here with this little yellow S, and that's just beside Russell Square. So if you've ever come to London, either to study or to visit as part of your holidays and you've visited the British Museum, then we're just round the corner from the British Museum, a 5-minute walk and tucked away in a very cultural part of the city. Lots of museums, galleries nearby and on campus. And we're also very conveniently located for transport hubs on the TfL network, the Transport for London network, and also on National Rail. We have a direct underground line to London Heathrow if you need to escape the cold temperatures that we have today, if you do choose to come and study with us here in London. So it's very easy to get about, to make the most of the city, to explore, and also to have that really focused, tight-knit student community right here in the heart of London. And again, if you haven't visited the city, you can just see some more information on this screen to highlight what a wonderful city it is to study in, particularly if you're used to thriving, bustling cities like Istanbul and all of the opportunities that brings. And in recognition of that, London is consistently voted the best student city in the world by the QS World Best Cities ranking. And again, here in London, we have a huge amount of diversity in terms of the cultures, backgrounds represented, languages spoken, and there's always something going on. And particularly when it comes to employment and looking ahead to beyond your studies, then the benefit of being right here in the city is often the proximity to businesses, organisations and work opportunities as you look to build your CV and the experiences that you have. In terms of our campus, you can see a little picture here from sunnier times. We're fighting off the cold winter weather, although it's not yet snowed here in London today. But this is our campus. We're tucked on a corner just off Russell Square, and our campus is made up of 3 main buildings arranged around this lovely colourful precinct area for our students to use. When it comes to our facilities, one of the main things that our students mention is the SOAS library. And I mentioned at the start that our name originally stood for the School of Oriental and African Studies. And that title is indicative of our non-Western focus and our key academic expertise in the regions of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. And each floor that you can see here on this picture of the library is dedicated to a specific region that we study. So we have an entire floor from the Middle East, works in original language, works in translation, a huge amount of resources for our students. Our library is currently undergoing a birthday makeover, which is very exciting. So we'll have a new, refreshed library and facilities for our students, and those facilities within the library include more than 1,000 student workplaces. We have computers, resources available, spaces for you to work on your laptop independently, group study rooms that you can book out, as well as a whole team of library support staff to give you the guidance that you need and to help you access the resources that you need to support your studies. You've probably seen from our name that SOAS is part of the University of London, and what that means is not only can you access the SOAS library as a student, but you can also access some of the library facilities across other University of London members to expand even further the resources that you'll have access to as part of your studies. Another really fun space that we have available is the Paul Webley wing, and if you've done any research at all on SOAS, you've most likely come across images of the Paul Webley wing. It's a really wonderful space, especially in summer when it's under the bright blue sky, but we use it for a lot of open events, open days, careers fairs, student society meetings. It's really a nice informal place for our students to gather, to study. We have a world canteen based there. The Paul Webley wing is also home to some of our student support services, the student hub, the careers team, and accommodation services. So if you do join SOAS as a student, then it's very likely that you'll spend a lot of time here. And this building that's part of the campus is also home to 2 of our lecture theatres, some academic offices, as well as some really nice, engaging classroom spaces for those smaller seminars and tutorials that you'll have as a student. When it comes to campus, one of the really interesting and perhaps different spaces that we have available and that our students use is the Brunei Gallery. And SOAS is huge on arts and culture across the humanities more broadly. And within the Brunei Gallery, we have our own 2-floor gallery and exhibition space. And that gallery always displays some exhibitions that relate to the regions that we look at more specifically, so Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. You can go to those galleries anytime for free as a student, interact with the content and the material on display. And if ever there's a bit of sunshine or you need to escape, then you can see in the bottom photo, we have a little Japanese roof garden tucked away on the top of the gallery if you just want 5 minutes peace and quiet away from the hustle and bustle of the city. That building is also home to our biggest lecture theatre on campus, as well, again, some more classroom spaces that are really heavily used by our students as part of their learning here at SOAS. One of the most common questions we get, and particularly given that we're based right here in the heart of London, is in terms of our student accommodation. And we do have a wide range of accommodation that we can offer to applicants from SOAS. The prices that you'll see here on the screen reflect those for students who just began their studies in September, and we hope to have some updated information available very soon. But again, we're trying our very best to make sure that there are budget-friendly options across the different facilities and halls of residence that we offer. All of our student accommodation is located within a very close 2 to 5 minute walk from the campus, all the way to about a 40 to 45 minute walk. And of course, you don't have to walk. We're located very handily on the TfL network, so it's very easy to zip about our little corner of the city. And we have lots of different facilities and room types available according to your budget. And the website is equipped with lots of virtual tours, some more information when it comes to the services offered, be that self-catered, catered, shared bathroom, ensuite, to help you to explore what options might suit you best. At SOAS, we have one dedicated SOAS undergraduate hall. We have one dedicated SOAS postgraduate hall. We have some intercollegiate options across the University of London network, and also some rooms and spaces allocated within some more traditional private providers. So lots to choose from, a wide range in terms of budget. And our website also contains some advice for students who perhaps want to explore renting privately or staying with friends or family elsewhere across the city. But rest assured, there are options for you regardless of your profile or budget. One of the things that students reflect most on when they chat about SOAS is the international community that study here, that teach here, and that call this corner of the city home. And on this graph, you can see a little bit more in terms of the numbers and statistics around our student community. So as I mentioned, we're incredibly diverse. We have more than 135 countries represented on campus, and more than 54% of our students come from outside of the UK. In terms of our on-campus community, we have about 5,600 students here. And again, I looked up the numbers for Turkey, and it's small but growing. As of last year, we had just under 30 Turkish students studying with us here on campus across a range of study levels. And we also have, really excitingly, a community of about 3,000 distance learners who are studying a range of part-time master's programmes from their home countries or wherever they are based across the world. A really fun aspect of the SOAS community is that we have a roughly even split between undergraduate and postgraduate students. So that means that there's a real wealth of experience, backgrounds, and professional exposure across our community, and lots of ideas, perspectives, and experiences to share in the classroom. Another thing that's really key when it comes to our student community is just how active, engaged, and mobilised our students are. Our student union is one of the most active in the UK, and again, it's also had a makeover, so it looks a little different from the colourful space that you can see on the screen. It's just as colourful, but a little bit more modern. And our students' union oversee about 100 different student societies. Our students' union has its own common room. There's a lovely new shop, a bar, space for societies to hold different events, screenings, discussion forums, and to help facilitate connections among our student community around shared interests. I mentioned that we're part of the University of London and how that really helps to expand the student community that you'll have access to and the facilities that you can use. And one really good example of that is Bloomsbury Fitness, which is the UCL sports facilities and gym space. And as we're quite small, our students get to use that UCL gym space, sports facilities, all for the same student membership price. So again, lots of opportunities, regardless of your interest, to make campus work for you. And finally then, before we get on to the nitty-gritty of what you can study and how to make that happen, this slide here just gives you a brief overview of some of our key rankings at SOAS. As I mentioned earlier, we're primarily known and focused on humanities and social sciences, and some of our top subjects are development studies, where we're third in the world, politics and international relations, where we're 18th globally, and anthropology, where we sit just behind at 19th. When it comes to some of the other subjects that tend to be popular with our Turkish applicants, SOAS sits in the top 150 globally for law and the top 250 globally for economics. So we've got a wide range of subjects to offer across key areas that you'll see in more detail in a second. Those other rankings really speak to our strengths when it comes to employability and our focus on equipping you for the world of work. And another thing that we're really well known for is our small scale teaching. Because we're a small student community of only 5,600 students, there'll be lots of opportunity to get to know your peers, to interact with professors, your teaching staff, and key members of academic teams across the SOAS community. Okie doke, when it comes to our academic programmes and subject areas, which I'm sure is first and foremost in your mind, as you start to try and identify whether SOAS is a university that can serve you and provide an environment that will help you thrive as a student. The first thing to know is that SOAS provides a wide range of courses across lots of different subject levels. What that means is that we offer every type of course, all the way from international foundation, right the way through to PhD research, and as I mentioned earlier, some key online distance learning programs for specific postgraduate courses that we offer. At undergrad, the vast majority of our degrees are 3 years, in line with the English system, although we do have some language courses and some study abroad opportunities which can extend those degrees to 4 years. For our on-campus programmes at postgraduate level, we again have a huge range of choice, the majority of which are 1 year, though this can extend to 2 for students who either choose to pursue an intensive language component or to add a placement year within certain programmes that carry that opportunity. So regardless of what study level you're interested in, I really encourage you to explore the SOAS website, ask questions, reach out to the BEB team. They can really help you to explore all of the opportunities that we have on offer, all the way through from foundation, undergrad, postgrad, PhD, and our select grouping of distance learning studies. This next slide gives you some much more detailed insight into the courses that we offer here at SOAS. I mentioned prior that they're all in the social sciences and humanities, and you'll see some traditional subject-based options across areas like economics, law, finance and management, anthropology, politics, as well as some regional focused programmes and some language offerings. And when it comes to our languages, all of our languages relate to the non-Western specialism that we have. So of course, not all of these are offered as full degrees. Some of them are modules tucked away in some of our more specialised programmes, but we have huge provision in key languages like Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. At master's level, we have translation options that look at English and Turkish as a pairing, for example. So lots of expertise, lots of skills that could be relevant to some of your interests as an applicant from Turkey. I mentioned briefly that we do offer some online distance learning at SOAS, and here on the screen you can just see a little bit more about what that offering looks like. Our teaching for online distance learning is primarily focused on a key set of subject areas that are offered at postgraduate level. And some of those are in really renowned areas from across the SOAS portfolio, things like politics, global diplomacy, climate change, development, environment, for example. And in total, we have more than 20 of these part-time programmes available for students to apply and follow part-time from wherever in the world they're based. As part of these programmes, you have lots of the same opportunities as on-campus study in terms of, for example, having a range of elective modules to choose from to tailor your learning. But the real advantage of online distance learning is that you're able to balance your development and your learning alongside your existing professional and personal commitments. So you would be studying completely remotely, following asynchronous teaching and learning, completing different activities as you go, all with the goal of obtaining a fully recognised MA or MSc degree from SOAS. Some of our courses also give you the option to pursue a postgraduate diploma or certificate, depending how long you study. So again, differing levels of commitment. But one of the main advantages with online distance learning is that we offer several intakes and start dates across the year, as well as overall reduced cost and flexible pay-as-you-go payment plans. So again, depending on your circumstance, your situation, that may be something that you want to look into, and BEB can fully support you to navigate that application and to understand a little bit more about whether that is a good fit for you. When it comes to SOAS more broadly, we're pleased that we offer a huge range of academic support to our students, and you can see some of them on the screen here. I mentioned our small scale teaching earlier, and again, we're a small university with a big focus on small scale teaching, making sure that you can really interact with your professors, your teaching assistants as you navigate your tutorials, seminars, and dissect the themes, ideas, and topics that you're hearing about in your lectures. All of our students will have an advisor, a personal point of contact within their department to make sure that their learning and their module choices is helping to navigate that path to graduation. And most students on humanities courses would expect between 8 to 12 hours of contact time per week. Again, it can be slightly more if you're pursuing a language component to make sure that you're developing skills across those key component areas of language study. But generally speaking, you'll have about 8 to 12 hours of contact time. And beyond that, you'll be engaging in lots of independent study, preparation work for your seminars and tutorials across the week, and ongoing assessment. In addition to that, we offer lots of different support through our student hub. You can get support with your finances if you need it, immigration advice, help with them for students with additional support needs, learning needs, and all of the general well-being mental health support that can go into making sure that you feel supported and can make the most of your time here on campus with us. I mentioned it briefly at the start of the webinar, but we know that one of the key components for our students when it comes to making a decision about where to study is making sure that your degree will equip you to succeed in the workforce and to obtain a quality job and role in our university. Career Service works really hard to offer lots of support in that area. Here at SOAS, we have a digital jobs board, a platform called Career Zone, and that collates lots of opportunities across internships, volunteering, part-time work, full-time graduate roles, so that you are aware of everything that is popping up. If you're at SOAS Looking to apply to employment or graduate roles, then the careers team offer all of the usual support when it comes to CV, cover letter advice, practice, mock interviews. If you are looking to apply to PhD and further research roles, then there's workshops geared specifically for that purpose, for example. And to help even further increase your awareness of those opportunities, we host a whole range of careers fairs, welcoming employers and organisations from a wide range of sectors to the campus across the academic year, as well as making effort to connect our students with our alumni network across the world. And they're doing wonderful things and really impactful sectors and job roles across the world. In terms of tangible opportunities, I've included 2 opportunities at the bottom, those being the SOAS Summer Internship Programme. And those are opportunities that are collated each year that allow students to apply specifically for roles allocated to SOAS students at a range of organisations. And our co-creator internships are internships specifically for our undergraduate students to apply to that will allow them to work on a range of faculty development projects, curriculum development projects alongside our academic staff. And you can see some snapshots here. This image on the right is just a very brief snapshot of some of the SOAS summer internship opportunities that we had available last summer. And the image on the top left is a headline from one of our co-creator internships that made the national press here, where a student worked to develop a decolonising philosophy toolkit that could be rolled out and reused in secondary schools and universities here as part of our mission to encourage people to engage with relevant non-Western perspectives and resources. And here, while we're on the topic of employability, this slide just gives you the most brief glance into some of the employment destinations where our students end up. Renowned companies in a wide range of sectors, consultancy roles, legal positions, non-governmental organisations like the United Nations, charitable companies and organisations, again, a huge range. And if you want to find out more about what your specific programme that you're interested in might lead to, all of our programme pages contain a brief snapshot list of recent graduate destinations. So I'd really encourage you to go there. When it comes to the nitty-gritty of applying, and again, this is something that BEB can support you with if you are interested in exploring SOAS for your next study abroad. All of our entry requirements are listed in detail on the website, but again, this slide just gives you a little snapshot. If you're interested in undergraduate bachelor study, for example, we can accept the Turkish Lise diploma for direct entry, and the specific percentage will often depend on the programme that you're interested in or the specific school in Turkey where you're currently studying. We accept a wide range of international qualifications, and at postgraduate level, again, we're typically looking for Turkish students to have obtained an undergraduate GPA of between 2.5 and 2.8, depending on where you studied. And again, we're always happy to provide that information in more detail and to clarify and follow up as you explore your options. When it comes to English language requirements, again, you can see them summarised on the screen here in terms of common tests like IELTS, for example. If you're interested in undergraduate study, then in some cases, if you've pursued an international curriculum like IB, A-level, GCSE, then we can exempt you from IELTS for year 1 entry based on those qualifications. And again, we have some much more detailed information on the website. For students that are applying to postgraduate study, if you have studied previously at one of a select number of institutions in Turkey, then we are also able to exempt you. And again, BEB are equipped with that information to help direct your choices and give you the knowledge to make an informed decision about what that would look like for you. We're almost there. And perhaps one of the most important bits when it comes to assessing your study options and what might be suitable for you. This screen just provides a very brief overview of the range of tuition fees that you could expect applying as an international student to SOAS. So for undergraduate study, we have a blanket international fee of £22,870 per annum for students who will begin in September 2025. At postgraduate level, it's more of a range, again, depending on which specific programme you are interested in. And you can see down at the bottom there, our online distance programmes typically carry a much reduced overall cost of about £12,000 with some flexible payment options. That being said, we are really pleased that we have a range of scholarships available for our students, and this list on the screen is not exhaustive by any means, but what it does show you is some of the key partial scholarships that we have available for students who are interested in those funding awards and scholarships. At undergrad level, we're pleased this year to be offering an academic excellence scholarship of £5,000, and we have up to 10 of those awards to give away to global applicants. Those scholarships are merit-based, so typically we're looking for students to have the equivalent of AAB at A level to be able to apply. Similarly, we have a master's scholarship available to international applicants, about 60 of those to give away, which is really exciting. And again, that's a £5,000 fee waiver. And we're looking for students to have the equivalent of an upper second class honours degree. So usually for Turkish students in the range of about 2.8 to 3 out of 4. And finally, one of our new scholarship options for this year is the Global Excellence Scholarship, which we have 5 to give away, and that's a partial fee waiver of £8,000. And we're really excited to see Turkey included on this list. An assessment for this will be much more holistic. So we're looking at the academic and personal achievements of students, and we're trying to identify students who can really represent SOAS well, who will be keen to get involved in different opportunities and champion study opportunities here at SOAS while they are a student with us. Of course, we have other opportunities, and I'd really encourage you to go over to the SOAS website. Our scholarships team are working to update those slowly but surely over the coming weeks and months. And we also are really pleased to receive a number of students in receipt of external funding each year. Hopefully, if you're considering Chevening, you've already applied, but there are a wide range of funding models available. We're almost at the end, and then I'll stop to give you an opportunity to ask any questions. But just a reminder that there's lots of ways that you can continue to engage with SOAS virtually if you are interested in study opportunities with us. If you head over to our website, we have a chat with a student option and a range of current undergrad and postgrad students available to share their experiences with you directly. We have some virtual tour resources online, as well as an opportunity for you to keep up to date with upcoming events and open days via the website. But I'll stop there to make sure that we have an opportunity to answer your questions and point you in the right direction to find out more.
Laura, thanks a lot for this great presentation. Eğer sorularınız varsa Türkçe olarak da sorabilirsiniz. İngilizce çevirme konusunda yardımcı oluruz ekibimizle beraber. Maybe we can wait like for some minutes. Maybe they can ask their questions.
No problem. I'll also type my email in the chat, and then if anybody wants to get in touch directly, you are very, very welcome. We'd love to provide some more information and to help as you navigate study options here in the UK.
Thanks a lot. I understand that the presentation is really well prepared. That's why everybody understands the applying process and everything
Yes.
about the SOAS.
Absolutely. And just to I see we've got a question pop through, but just to remind you that if you're applying for anything other than undergraduate study, which is through UCAS as normal, then all of those other programs are completely free to apply for directly through the SOAS website. So
Applications
nice and
are free
easy.
of charge.
Exactly, through the SOAS website. And again, BEB can support you to make those
Sure.
applications.
Thanks a lot for the information. Now we got a question. Melike is asking, if we get a scholarship for PhD, will there be any problem about our visa?
No, so what you need to do is you need to read all of the student visa information that is listed on the UKVI website. If you're in receipt of funding, then you'll be asked to prove that you have that funding as part of the visa application process. And again, BEB are used to supporting many applicants to go abroad and study in the UK. So they'll be able to support you every step of that process to make sure that you have the documents that you need, to make sure that you can stay in touch with the universities that you're considering, and to be mindful of the requirements and what you'll need to provide to get that funding approved, and to evidence that you're able to support yourself.
Sure, it's our pleasure to support our students even in visa. Yeah, we are not living in a problem. If there's a scholarship, we can just take our cast letter and apply for visa. There will be no problem. Okay. One more question from Rota Yıldız. Could you give information about funding support, if there's any way of support, funding support?
Absolutely. So hopefully you saw on the presentation that we do have some partial funding opportunities. If you're interested in bachelor's study, then we have those 10 partial fee waiver awards of £5,000. If you're interested in postgraduate study, then there are generally more funding opportunities. So there are the partial awards that I mentioned, the £5,000 and the £8,000 that you might want to consider if you're eligible. And if you go onto the SOAS website, you'll also see some additional scholarships, which are more specific to nationality, or the program that you're applying for, and information about eligibility for that will be updated slowly by the scholarships team as we look to the new year. In terms of student loan availability, I can see the wee comments popping through. Thank you, Murat. In terms of student loan availability, there's nothing that would come from the British side in terms of student loans. But BEB can again help you to navigate funding and have a think. The other thing to remember is that if you do come to the UK on a student visa, then you have the ability to work part-time. And many students do, to a certain extent, to just give them some extra funding to support their living costs while they're in the UK. A student visa will allow you to work up to 20 hours per week part-time. In practice, most students would probably tell you that that's a little bit much to balance work, study, making the most of where you are. But certainly there are a lot of students who will work 10, 12 hours per week part-time to help support themselves. Oh, I think you're on mute, Nihal.
I am sorry, yes, I'm muted. Another question. Is there a better science engineering study in master's or PhD? Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, not at SOAS. We're all humanities and social sciences, but certainly if you're exploring the UK, then you'll find some wonderful options across UK universities.
And one more question. Will there be any undergraduate open days anytime soon? Thank you for your presentation.
Oh, you're very welcome. We did have one just a short few weeks ago, and we will likely have another big in-person open day later in 2025. All of that will be updated on the website, but what I would encourage you is that as an international student, if you want to visit, that you can do so anytime. We know that you're often confined in terms of visit dates, scheduling that around commitments that you have. We know flights are expensive, so please just get in touch via email if you do want to come and visit the campus. We're always very happy to facilitate meetings with our student ambassadors, with our academic faculty where we can, and to show you about, help you get a flavour of the campus and to answer any of your questions. But our undergraduate open days will be updated very soon on the website so that you can keep up to date with things that are happening. I can also see a question that's come through again about our economics programme at undergraduate level, and at SOAS we offer both a BA economics programme and a BSc economics programme. Generally speaking, the BA programme will be slightly less mathsy, a little bit more of a focus on the theoretical policy components, and the BSc will have a stronger maths statisticsy component to it. So generally what that means is that the BSc has a higher entry requirement when it comes to the maths. If you're studying on the Turkish diploma, then you'll have to apply to the BA programme, and we would need a minimum of 75% in your final year maths at high school. But the really good thing is that if you do get admitted, once you start your studies here at SOAS, you can still transition from the BA to the BSc programme as long as you complete all the required modules. So something to be mindful of just in terms of navigating the requirements, but certainly we can help you and give you the information that you need, and we can accept the Turkish diploma.
Thanks a lot. We have one more question. Is there any possibility for placement here in economics undergraduate program?
Yes, so we do have, it's not guaranteed, but in the third year, there is a placement module that exists as part of the curriculum, and students are eligible to apply for that. If you do want to have any more information, you're welcome to get in touch, and we can help connect you to the faculty to tell you some more information about what that placement module looks like, some of the opportunities that our students have participated in the past to help understand what that would look like.
Thank you. Okay. I think we don't have any other question from now
I
on.
think we have one more for the PhD finance.
Oh yes, I can see it now. Thank you, Imran. We have one from a student who's studying economics and thinking about getting a PhD in finance. We do offer PhD programs in finance at SOAS. The one to look for if you want to do more research is, it's called MPhil PhD Finance and Management. So the overarching title is Finance and Management. And if you head over to the website, the programme page summarises really concisely. There's about 5 or 6 broad thematic areas that we look at as part of PhD studies. So I'd encourage you to head over to that one, and you need to look for finance and management. And that contains some information that can help guide and help you identify as to whether that is a suitable programme, whether it helps fit with your interests. And if so, there's a starting point to explore some of the possible supervisors, the research expertise that we have. And of course, if you have any questions, please get in touch, and we're always happy to help connect you. Generally, because of our outlook at SOAS and our approach, our PhDs tend to have a regional focus or be of relevance to the discussion of that subject in that context. But do get in touch, and we're always happy to help further.
Okay. I cannot see any other question, Imran. You have on your screen?
Yeah, I think we covered all the questions. Thanks so much for your time and all the information, Laura.
No problem. Thank you so much for facilitating, and to everybody for joining. Hopefully we'll be in touch, and we'd love to welcome you to SOAS.
We
Thank you.
hope
Fingers
so.
crossed.
All right, take care, everybody. Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a great evening,
Have a nice-
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.